Let me now recognize Representative Sherman for your 5 minutes of questioning.
Comment on Mr. Barr's statement that we need to deal with the deficit. That's why we need to avoid the tax cuts that are being proposed on the Ways and Means Committee at the present time. We did balance our budget in the 90s because we locked in Clinton's tax policies, and then in 1995 we started spending like Republicans. Mr. Barr also talks about how important it is that we have the U.S. dollar be a reserve currency. The crypto advocates have made it very plain they want to take that away from us. When somebody says what they're going to do to you, you should listen. Our chair asks us, where should USTR be? I think it should be in the State Department, but my fear is that then state will make trade concessions in order to achieve other foreign policy objectives, because the people we've hired at the State Department are people who dream of a Nobel Prize and study how Metternich dealt with the Congress of Vienna. We've got a distinguished panel here. You've all spent a lot of time with State Department people. Putting aside the political appointees, just on civil service and foreign service, do any of you know any CPAs who are employed by the State Department? No hands go up. Do any of you know any MBAs personally who work? I see one. You're nodding, sir. Do you actually know somebody well enough to name? An MBA? No. So we have no MBAs. And do any of you, please raise your hands if this applies, do you know anyone with 15 years international business experience who's a civil servant or with the civil service or the foreign service of the State Department? I assure you that if this was the House of Commons, lots of hands would have gone up. In every other country, business is important. But there's no way in which the State Department has the greater flaw than their process of issuing visas. Nobody becomes a foreign service officer to issue visas. We don't hire people who want to issue visas. And so I've got to send an apology letter to my cable company, because by the cable company, I was on the phone with them for an hour and flipping it around and around, and I thought that was the worst experience possible until last night when I tried to deal with the consulate in Karachi. The process that we put people through to get a tourist visa or a visa to come here and buy our products shows that we don't care about tourism, we don't care about products. Ms. Dzinski points out that we've perhaps started an economic war without a Pentagon. There's only one thing worse, and that's if you have your general being bought off, the way Benedict Arnold was bought off. We've got this $400 million plane. Not since the Greeks left a gift outside the walls of Troy have we seen such a bad gift acceptance. We're going to have to disassemble the plane looking for bugs. Then we're going to have to outfit the plane with the most advanced communications device. And then we as a government don't own the plane. It's owned by Qatar, and they're going to transfer it over to the Trump Foundation. But more important, perhaps, is the $2 billion Abu Dhabi has announced they're going to put in the Trump stablecoin. That is at minimum a $2 billion interest-free loan to the Trump organization. And then finally, we have Trump coin. We can put up the chart. Some 96% of this coin is owned by 40 wallets. Press report says they're all owned by the Trump family. And so anybody who buys the Trump coin is putting 96% of their money into those wallets. We, everyone on this subcommittee, I believe, voted to limit TikTok. We know how important that is. We gave them 75 days. And now I would like to put on the record an article from yesterday's New York Times. Tiny company with China ties announced big purchase of Trump cryptocurrency, and an announcement that $300 million is going to be put into those 40 wallets by an entity with ties to TikTok that the entity itself has 8 employees and no revenue, but they've been able to raise $300 billion from mysterious sources in a tax haven country. And I want to quote Charlie Dent, who served here with distinction Republican member, former chair of the House Ethics Committee, when he said, make no mistake, these foreign entities and governments obviously want to curry favor with the president. So the only thing worse than not having a Pentagon is having a leading general who's been bought off. And with that, I think my time has expired.